think we should never be tired of experimenting, and especially in training, to make conditions even harder than they might be expected in deployment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have prepared a few distractor odors for our next sessions on the scent wheel with Kool. So we have packaging of soy sauce, we have peanut butter, we have some protein powder, we have salami, we have again some soy sauce, we have maki, which is weird Austrian flavor for whatever you want to eat with it. We have what we call quark or quark, how do you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have some packaged sugar. We have something that our Australian friend had in his pockets. We have some garlic, just some plastic baggie, and again some soy sauce packaging.
Now again we have Kool, Jalen and Sabrina, and we have prepared a single blind exercise for Kool. Like in the search before, we did a clear search where the handler always knew where targets are hidden or not hidden, so if it was a blank, just to make sure that, well, the dog is trained well. And now we run a little test in the single blind. You guys will use the randomizer before every round. I will be facing away, I will not be watching it. You will not tell me where it is until I call an indication or until I say, well, this might be a blank search. So sometimes, if I'm not totally sure, I would recall my dog and restart the dog to have a second indication. So you guys will only react when I say indication on 9 or is 9 correct or whatever, right? Until then, you try to like stay neutral. Because actually what's the purpose on blinds? We want to avoid the clever Hans effect, right? So even better would be a double blind, but so that it gets a little bit quicker now, because for a double blind we would always have to exit the room, etc. We will now run a single blind.
Okay.
Good.
Makes
So
sense.
we're facing away, and you guys will tell me when we are ready to rumble.
I'll generate this if you want to record this.
It's cool. Come. Setzen.
All right.
Setzen.
Okay.
Komm. Setzen. Komm. Blank. So he overran something. So now the best thing would be that you take the sample, open it, and there is something written on the bottom of the case. And where it says notes, you just take a note which one he did not indicate, and maybe next time he will be better. So we do it like this. Okay, all right. Sitzen. Sitzen. Zeig. Mitte. 4.
Bingo.
Gut. Sitzen. Zeig. Komm. Komm. Blank.
Bingo. Alrighty.
Komm. Cool. Setzen. Setzen. Zeig. Komm. It's a blank.
Bingo.
Cool. Mitte. Liegen.
Alrighty.
Komm. Sitzen. Sitzen. Zeig. Komm. It's a blank.
Bingo.
Komm, Mitte. Cool. Mitte. Liegen. Sitzen. Zeig. Indication on 5.
Bingo.
Komm. Setzen. Zeig. 5 again.
Bingo.
Mitte. We finish off. Komm. Sitzen. Zeig. Komm. Blank.
Bingo.
Zeig. Komm. Komm. It's a blank.
Go.
Zeig. Indication on 10.
Bingo.
Cut. Cool. Sitzen. Sitzen. Zeig. Mitte. Indication on 8.
You got it.
Cut. Zeig. Indication on 3.
You got it.
Cut. Good. Cool.
That's us.
That's it.
Yep.
Let's see what he's been doing. So we took some different notes here. Do you have the pen?
Sure.
So I think that's a 277.
Okay.
And I think we have a little training deficit because there is a pattern that we have difficulties in the first run. So this might be a lack of training, or maybe it was this time just something else. You never really know why we fail, right? So we had a false negative. Then we had a, what's this?
Richtig.
A true positive, a true negative, true negative, true negative, true positive, true positive, true negative, true negative, true positive, true positive, true positive. So we had from 13 rounds, no, sorry, how many rounds? 12 rounds. One was wrong, so I don't know how many percent they are, but maybe it's 93% correct. Something around that, which is not bad. Then here I recalled the dog from the indication. Here I recalled the dog from indication, like 1, 2, 3 times I recalled from an indication from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 50% of correct indications. What did I say? 50% of correct indications were rewarded. And that's actually perfect. Because we want to be, when we do a variable reinforcement, we want to be somewhere around the 50%, because we know that that makes the best behavior possible. So
yeah,
that's not what we decided, that's what people who are cleverer than us found out, some scientists, right?
Yeah.
You did not take notes of how many times I rewarded the recall from the search, but sometimes I just say come and I reward him, and sometimes I say come and I don't reward him. So this is this maybe does not have that much weight, but still also the searches are rewarded variable in a sense that sometimes he finds and might be rewarded or not. Sometimes he finds not and he's recalled and rewarded or not. But the only way for him to escape the scent wheel is by finding or being recalled. So I don't want him to quit the search himself.
Yeah. Yeah, you want him to remain persistent.
Yeah.
Right. And what's some things that can increase that persistence as well? Is there anything like, say, in his day that can increase persistence, or is there anything in the session that can increase persistence?
Well, for sure. I think in the end, you need to be persistent in your training. Like, well, first of all, the dog needs to know what to do. He needs to know the behavior that he can show when he finds. He needs to know how he can find. So he needs to know the search behavior. We can enforce both throughout different kinds of training. So I can do indication like behavior training that is not detection dog related. So what my dogs actually learn is that they can force rewards by sitting and staring. So it's indication like behavior, but non-related to detection work. So there I start building a lot of persistence in sitting and staring. For example, like this, when I wait, he would sit down without me giving him any verbal cue. So this is how we get persistence in indication behavior. Chris.
Nice.
And I get persistence in search behavior with things like hunting game, where they're searching for toys, or doing the brick wall searches. So many Americans and British and Australian people might not understand why we use brick walls.
Yeah.
But the brick wall is a small part of the whole concept of our training, where we just not only reduce the size of training odors or target odors, but also it's a gym for dogs. It's very exhausting. You know, they have a high sniffing frequency on longer searches, building it up slowly. And I think all together, this makes the persistence in this exercise. And this exercise, actually, this is not a hard physical exercise. This is just difficult for the dogs to discriminate between target odor and all the distractor scents.
Right.
So that's the hard work here. And for the handler, the hard work is trusting the dog, right? But there was a very, like, well, we've always learned, trust your dog, you know, the saying. But I think last year I heard it the first time, and there was a woman who said, trust the dog to the level you trained it. So there's no sense in just trusting your dog, right?
Yeah.
But you have to trust him the way you trained it. And in the end, we proved in the training session before that he can deal with the distractor sense, he can deal with the odors. And we pretty much proved it that he only had one mistake in 12 rounds, which is not perfect, but that's life. So if we keep going like this again, having a little more highly frequency in our own training, which we pretty much lacked the past few weeks and months, then this might be 100% again. But 100% are unrealistic.
Like, you can never expect things to be
better. The more you train, the more often you will fail, but also the better you will get.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then even like when you're doing the wall as well, and you're working on, you know, you're seeing them get to that point of exhaustion where like they're starting to just like, again, get that little bit hectic. And then you're practicing recall down. That's letting them like, again, sort of come back to this place of like balance to be able to go back again and then also have more persistence.
Yeah, so on the one hand, we see that they start panting more. And we know that they can also smell while panting. Is it correctly said, panting?
Yep, panting.
But obviously, it could also be the case that the dog is just overheating and that's why he's panting. So I give them a recall, I put them to a down, I let them rest for half a minute or a minute to also give them the chance to use a higher nose frequency again.
Okay.
Right? And at the same time, I'm not making the exercise in itself easier. I just give the dog time to catch some breath, but they still have to figure out the same scenario that was built up. So I won't make this easier. I just let them relax. And at the same time, they learn that the task still needs to be done, right?
Yeah. So if you're someone, say, like you're living in Australia and you're working this brick wall and you're maybe dealing with temperatures in the summertime that are quite wild, you would be looking at providing more of those rests because of the climate.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
But also cold doesn't make things easier.
Right. So both extreme temperatures can have.
But it's always what's the dog used to, you know? And there I think we can, like if you look at predators in the desert or predators in the Arctic, they also hunt. So the senses work. It's just what they're used to.
Okay.
So an ice bird scents its prey also in the cold, also with minus I don't know how many degrees Celsius. And same goes for a cheetah or whatever, or lion. So of course our dog is not an ice bear and our dog is not a cheetah or a lion, but for sure they can get used to different environments and work in these. And I think the limits are set in our mindsets.
Okay.
And for sure I can't expect the same quality of surge in, I don't know, 45 degrees. And I might not, or for sure I can't expect the same surge duration, etc. with 45 degrees Celsius. And I need some extra equipment. I might need some booties for their paws, and they might even wear sunglasses and a cooling vest. And they might only surge 10 minutes at a time and not 25 like with 10 degrees Celsius. But they will surge. If there is a need of a working dog under certain circumstances, then it can be done for sure.
Would there be any effects if you were like in a context like this inside of like a shed, but then say it's really hot, you've got a fan blowing on your scent wheel because you're trying to keep the environment cooler because it is so humid in the space?
Well, this could make things a lot more difficult. But well, sometimes you can't avoid having some wind or some airstream.
Yeah.
But for sure, this can also make things more difficult. I'd rather keep the dog cool, hydrated.
Yeah.
That's I think more important than cooling this down. Or if it's possible to get some shade.
Yeah.
That's already a big benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and if it's like a set-up training area, well, then for sure, go ahead and try it with some fans and air conditioner or whatever.
You can experiment,
But,
sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
So I think we should never be tired of experimenting, and especially in training, to make conditions even harder than they might be expected in a deployment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So this makes a lot of sense. Also to understand where the boundaries or where's the border of what's possible and what's not. And maybe what's not possible yet might be possible next month because I have faced the difficulty. Now I can write down a progression plan and work on it until it works.
Yeah.
And that's the fun thing, and that's what in the end our mindset is in Kynotec. So when Chris and I train, sometimes or often it's quite frustrating because the only goal that we have is to make the other's dog fail just in setting up difficult heights, distractors, or just to brain fuck the handler. We just want, because if I set up trainings where Chris would always have success there, well, what would you learn from that?
What's the point?
Yeah. So we try to make things difficult. And again, that's the cave of pain that we talked about.
Yeah.
That's the only thing where you will develop.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part of it.
Yeah. Well, I like what you talked about yesterday about deployment as well, and how I was mentioning that study of the training detection dogs at a lower frequency and like seeing between two groups, one trained at a higher frequency, one trained at a lower frequency, and the ones at the lower frequency having more success.
Yeah.
But then that...
They're not used to the pressure of duration of the exercise or the pressure of exhaustment because of the frequency of the exercise. So, yeah, and those studies are always important. Yesterday night we had the meeting in our instructor class and we were talking about different studies. And it's like when you read one of those studies, it's like, yeah, it totally makes sense. But people forget to see it from the critical point of view and really question it. Well, do we need dogs that are brilliant in what they do once a week? Or do we need dogs that show this behavior like 5 days a week?
Yeah.
So this is a big difference.
Yeah. And in the deployment of a dog going to work, like generally they're not going to be working 1 day a week. They're going to be going and working.
Yeah. Well, it really depends on what you do. So, for example, with our mold detection dogs in the civil sector or the bed bug detection dogs, we have 2 days in a row where we would deploy 8 hours, which means 5 hours netto search time for the dogs. 2 days in a row, that's possible. It needs to be trained, but it's possible. And then we have at least 1 or 2 days off because we can decide to do so because we offer a service to a client. When you're in a war zone or when you're in an agency or an authority dog handler, you have to show up at work and do whatever is needed. And then you might have multiple days in a row. Probably, well, depending on where you work, right? So, and then you have to train like this. So I could never write an offer for 4 days in a row and search for explosives at an event or a festival if I have never trained it before. That makes no sense. But it happens, obviously, in the working dog world that people train in a group 1 day long, 6 dog handlers. The net search time might be 40 minutes if it's a lot per dog. So if you have 6 dogs and you realized how much effort it is to make a clean training happen, and this was just a scent wheel and not a room search, a car search or whatever, right? Yeah. And then your dog searched 40 minutes this day, which is nothing. Yeah. And then you're expected to work full day deployments with your dog. Yeah. So I see those things quite critical. But there we have the solution. You have to train it. I know that very often
the possibilities aren't given, so that the handlers have other jobs to do, not only training their dogs and keep the maintenance of their abilities. So they also have to do normal police stuff or normal military stuff, etc. But again, that's not our problem. But we would know what the solution is.
Yeah, if someone came
train realistically and even on over the top.
Yeah, and then you can provide that picture of what is realistic for those specific contexts as well.
Yeah.
And that's where they could come and consult you about those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Super.
So we clean this up, and yeah, maybe tomorrow we will have a shorter session again. We'll see.
Yeah.